Welcome back to Tears of Hope podcast, where we shine a light on the stories that often don't make the headlines long enough, where we give voice to the voiceless, and where faith and hope stand firm even in the face of tragedy. Today's episode is difficult, but it's one that needs to be told. It's about a man whose life was cut short, a young mother and her baby who went missing, and the suspect at the center of it all. Their story comes from Reading, Pennsylvania, a place where families gather in parks, children laugh on playgrounds, and neighbors look out for one another. But on September 13th, 2025, Bear Park became the site of a horrific crime. At about 6:30 a.m. that morning, police were called to Bear Park. There, they discovered 31-year-old Junior Cabrera Colon dead from a gunshot wound to the head. For those of you who knew him, Junior was more than a name in a press release. He was a son, a friend, a young man whose future was stolen in an instant. The shock of his death rippled through the Reading community, but as devastating as this was, it was only the beginning of a much larger, more heartbreaking story. Let's dive further. As police began the investigation, they pieced together Junior's life. They learned he lived with a woman named Geraldine Vieira Mancebo, just 31 years old, and her 1-year-old son, Jaden. But something wasn't right. Friends and family hadn't seen or heard from Geraldina or baby Jaden since September 12th, the day before Junior was found. Their absence raised alarms. Police quickly entered both mother and child into the National Crime Database as missing and endangered. The urgency could not be overstated. A mother and her child were out there somewhere with their lives hanging in the balance. Attention soon turned toward 61-year-old Jose Luis Rodriguez. Authorities suspect that Rodriguez is connected not only to Junior's killing, but also to the possibility of the disappearance of Geraldina and her son. While details continue to unfold, what we know is that a single act of violence at Bear Park opened a door to a case that has shaken Reading to its core. Police have asked the public to come forward with any information, and every detail, no matter how small, could be the key to bringing justice and, more importantly, bringing Geraldina and Jaden home. As I reflect on this case, I can't help but think of the ripple effect of violence. Junior's life ended in an instant, and Geraldina and her little boy remain missing. Families are shattered. The community is on edge. But I also think the power of prayer, the strength of community, and the importance of never turning away from the hard stories, because every victim deserves to be remembered and every missing deserves to be found. If you're listening to this and you're from the Reading area, please, if you saw something, say something. Share the story. Keep Junior, Geraldina, and baby Jaden in your prayers. There's a Hope podcast is back for an update on the Bear Park tragedy. On September 18th, police arrested Rodriguez, who they claim confessed to killing Cabrera and dumping his body along River Road. Meanwhile, investigators are continuing the search for the mother and son. On September 19th, a woman, later identified as Peguero, was found in a grassy field in Onondaga Township in Berks County, Pennsylvania. The Berks County DA office said in a statement, investigators said she appeared to be the victim of foul play. Then one day later, a toddler was found partially submerged in a marshy area approximately 150 yards west of the location where Vergara was discovered, per the DA's office. That's truly sad. That's heartbreaking. An autopsy performed on the pair on September 22 confirmed that they were the mother and son who had been reported missing, prosecutors said. Their deaths were ruled homicide, but officials have yet to discover how they were killed. Wow, that's unbelievable. It's truly unbelievable how could this even happen? The DA's office said authorities are continuing to investigate the mother and son's killing and have a press release conference scheduled for Monday, September 29th. So tune in. Monday, September 29th, you can tune in for the pre-release conference. Meanwhile, Rodriguez is being held in the Ricks County Jail on charges of first-degree murder, abuse of courts, and other criminal connections with Cabrera's death. Police said as of September 24th, he has not been considered a suspect in the mother and son's death. A GoFundMe campaign seeking burial and other expenses states Figueroa and Cabrera were named and shared 4 children, including 1-year-old Jaden. They leave behind 3 orphan kids, ages 13, 10, and 8. Wow. 3 children have to grow up with neither one of their parents because of some heinous crime. So sad. All 3 children who are currently staying in the Dominican Republic and now must face life without their mother and father. Wow. Any help, big or small, will be a seed of hope for them in this painful time. So, GoFundMe campaign has been updated. Wow. Unbelievable. Truly unbelievable. I know a lot of you are just listening to this story and saying, wow, this world, what is this world coming to? Seriously. That's really sad. This has been the Threads of Hope. Thank you for listening, and thank you for caring, and thank you for standing with the families who are hurting tonight. Until next time, hold your loved ones close, stay safe, and never lose faith. The truth will always come to light. Until next time.